video that you're going to be seeing is the actual pitch that I used to reach out to a client that posted a gig on Twine. Instead of using the usual written template where I introduce myself, I tell them exactly what I would do for them, share some portfolios and stuff like that. What I did for this one is, as usual, I just recorded a quick video with a few design directions that we can take for their website. Now this is a company in the blockchain, company running on blockchain, and they wanted to build a platform that's more or less focused on trust, security, and global connectivity, as per their own words. And they wanted somebody, a designer, that could help them do that. But the problem is that when you do go through the actual job ad, you see that they actually need somebody who's gonna understand conceptually, not just as a designer, but as a brand strategist, what they actually are trying to do. Because they wanted to mimic the styles of Coinbase, Phantom, and Zerion. Now these are three different platforms, three different brand identities that don't have anything in common besides the fact that they're in the same industry. What I did was I showed them three different design directions that we could take and walk them through how they might look like with actual examples from online and from our own work. This way, telling them, basically telling them what their website could look like, instead of showing them past results and telling them why we are the best choice for them.
Hey, and good afternoon. So in this quick video, I've recorded a walkthrough that will guide you through three distinct creative directions for how Stratos' website and logo could evolve, right? And each direction is really designed to highlight a different facet of your brand, so you can see how Stratos might be positioned visually depending on your strategic priorities. So in a quick overview, there's one direction that is all about trust and authority, more or less like Coinbase. Clean, minimal, professional design, geometric, stable logo mark, right? So it positions Stratos as the secure, enterprise-ready leader, right? Perfect for building trust with investors and institutional partners. Number two, it's more on the futuristic side and bolder. So it's Phantom inspired. Basically, dark mode layouts with bold neon accents and sleek tech forward typography, right? And the third one is more human and accessible, similar like Zerion and utilitarian blend. So basically, it's going to be like a balanced, minimal design with human touches, illustrations, form typography, and storytelling visuals, really. So I'm going to go through a lot of these examples, visual examples, just to show you exactly what I mean. Basically, we could go with something but one of the most important things is that in the blockchain industry, if you do want to stand out with a website, it has to pop out. What I mean by that, you'll see in the next minute or so. So basically, you could definitely start off with something simple, right? But it always has to have this central element that's going to be literally what the name says, fundamental to what your brand is, what Stratos is. And what is that? It could be the actual logo icon. So basically creating that 3D element that you will see all throughout the website, right? And could be something as simple as this. As I said, geometric, a website that just exudes trust and authority, similar like Coinbase and the rest. And just like this, for example, right? So, like I said, clean layouts, very simple color palettes that really go well together. And, it reminds you that this is something on the blockchain too. But you could go this way. Sure. It's one way to go about that and, make this whole website, pop out with, trust and authority and make it, of course, human. But I think that the futuristic and bold, similar to what Phantom is what you want to go forward with. So, for example, think about creating the almost completely interactive website, right? That's going to have a central element behind it, and it's just going to follow all the way through to the very end, right? So, and these, the type of typography and color scheme that you'd see only in Star Trek and these futuristic brands that that they're on the forefront of technology and innovation, right? For example, take into account, yeah, I mean, these are just a lot of different ways we can go about that. Similar to this one here, you could go on the lighter side, right? And create, like I said, it just has a flow. The flow that a user experiences when he visits your website, and he has to do that all the way through the bottom where he will either sign, subscribe, or buy what you're selling, right? And that's exactly what it means, what this whole venture really means, right? You see how all these elements just flow nicely together like a story, like a perfectly sound narrative that, yeah, if it was if it was a movie, you'd definitely get some sort of an award, right? But then again, you could always go with something that's more on the darker side and inspired by mythology, of course. Well, because Stratos, it is part of mythology, and why not build this mythological um, company and just give it a voice and give it a brand. Just make it pop out just like this, and when somebody is going through the website, they're thinking, wow, this is like I'm actually in a freaking story. And then they're experiencing the brand itself. This is what companies are, well, not just companies, but individuals are also looking for. And the differentiated experience when it comes to the blockchain industry, also in general. I mean, that's just the way it is right now. So yeah, let me know what you think about these, and would love to get your opinion. Oh, and definitely, it's always good to provide some feedback. So let me know if any of these directions that I mentioned catches your eye, and yeah, we can definitely chat more about that. So thank you.